of modernism, he's the guy who said less is more. Said a building should be skeleton, skin and space, and always rectangular. Had a lot of students, a lot of influence. You've seen buildings like this all over the world, right? Plain black boxes. But yeah, this one student said, you know, Ludwig, gotta get out of the box, dude. Look at nature, look at flowers and trees. There's no boxes in nature. Maybe you should do petal-shaped roofs, terminating in semicircular balconies, all emanating from a central stem. Maybe you should do the 1967 Marina City. His name was Bertrand Goldberg, actual student of Ludwig, back in Germany in the 30s. Here we have in Chicago, right next door to each other, the student rejecting the master, saying, forget about boxes, I'm doing curves. He called it curvilinear flower form. But a pragmatic Chicagoan looked up and said, huh, corn cobs. Chicago loves nicknames. These are the corn cob buildings. Designed to be a city within a city, with everything you can need. Where you live, where you parked your car, where you parked your boat, where you went shopping, where you went to dinner. Movies, swimming, skating, bowling, even where you went to work. There was an office complex included, city within a city. There'd been a lot of suburban flight in '67, people moving away from downtown. He's trying to entice the well-heeled tax group back to sweet home in downtown Chicago. It worked. All right. We're going to jump way back in time now, back to 1913. You ready to do the time warp? Jump to the left, step to the right, hedge your hips, knees, and tight. You know who you are. Frank Lloyd Wright, the most famous name in Prairie School architecture, said, architecture should come naturally out of its environment. And the broad horizon, broad-shouldered prairie inspired a broad horizon, broad-shouldered architecture. Now, we're not going to see any Frank Lloyd Wright buildings on the tour. There are none in downtown Chicago. Several in the suburbs. You go out to Oak Park. But we are going to see Prairie School. And George C. Nemus was a Prairie Schooler who built the Reed Moroccan Company warehouse building, the brick building on the right. Built in 1913 as a grain storage warehouse that's been converted to offices and restaurants. Also has arts and crafts stylings. Who likes arts and crafts? Watch for the fancy brickwork on the side of the building where the bricks make patterns. It's called arts and crafts style. Also want you to note, this building is lopsided, asymmetrical, wider to the right of the clock tower to the left. More window bays to the right and left. It wasn't built like that. It was built completely even on both sides, but when they widened the street and the bridge were about to go under, the building was in the way. They're going to go around the building? Not in Chicago, baby. They went right through it. Just tacked off a whole chunk of the building, put the street through. Chicago likes simple solutions to its problems. One of the students that Jenny I mentioned was Louis Sullivan. When they first started building skyscrapers, they tried to make the new tall buildings look like short buildings stacked atop each other. She wouldn't notice they were tall and be afraid of them. Sullivan said, oh no, these new tall buildings should not be ashamed of their height. They should celebrate it. Like a Greek column they should have, a base, a shaft, and a capital. He called it the tripartite or three-part structure. We call it the Chicago School or Sullivan.